recognize all the military veterans. You veterans, stand up. Stand up if you can. Make some noise. All right, y'all sit down and get your sign up. Hey, I ain't no problem gonna make it on time tonight because I just got through visiting my 95-year-old grandma. I hadn't seen her in 4 years. She had a sign on her door that said, "Watch your step." I ain't been in that tip. When she came to the door, I gave her a hug. I squeezed her so tight, she started kicking and screaming, "Get off me, get off me!" with an attitude. So I backed her off and apologized to her. I said, "I'm sorry, Grandma, did I squeeze you too tight?" She said, "No, you stupid motherfucker, you were stepping on my nipples." She said, "Did you read the sign? You know I got these orangutan titties." She said, "You stupid ass daddy would listen to you before you was born. He would have flushed your dumb ass down the toilet." And my son called his mom the other day for her birthday, right? But she was asleep, so I answered her phone. I said, "Hello?" He said, "You ain't my mama." I said, "I know it. Ain't your daddy either." That bothered my son so much, he went and took one of those ancestry tests. When he got his test results back, it shocked the hell out of me, him and his mama. They said that he was 30% Caucasian. Yeah, my wife and I looked at each other and said, "Uh-oh," at the same time. I don't know why she said "uh-oh," but I told my son, I said, "You better pray to God that 30% isn't in your underwear." I don't know about y'all, but I got a good relationship with my son, right? He's 33 years old. He just graduated college last June. They just friends from the summer. I was a young motherfucker. Hey, I was so young, I used to copy out my friend paper in school. The dude right there, Morris and Jen, and we all got D's. We got 1A though. Yeah, everybody had to get one from Jim, right? But anyway, my son told me, he said, "Dad, I'm about to graduate college, magna cum laude." I said, "Congratulations, son." Yeah, I said, "Does that mean the bottom of the class like your daddy?" My grandson said, "Papa, you rude." I said, "You haven't seen Rude. When's I throw your little ass in the deep end of the pool and you can't swim?" Now that's rude. My son got me good one day though. We was remodeling his bathroom, right? And I was tiling his shower. And from out of nowhere, he said, "Dad, I normally don't tell another man how to do his job and everything, but my mom always said, if you see something, say something. So I'm going to say something." I said, "What is it?" He said, "You don't know what you're doing, do you?" You know, I played it off. I started gathering my things. He said, "Where you going?" I said, "I got a saying too." He said, "What's that?" I said, "If you want something done right, do it your goddamn self." And I am. So, you know, I had been on a riverboat since they stopped floating down the Mississippi River with the amber. Y'all remember that? Really Grace when we used to do that, right? So last year, I went on a riverboat cruise, and it was fun. Well, it was packed to capacity. There was about 50 people on board, and I was on the black owners, right? Yeah, I told the captain, I said, "Whatever you do, please don't let nothing happen to this boat." It wasn't I was scared I was going to get my hair wet, obviously. But it's the fact I know how black people are. You know, we'll watch dudes like, "That's what that nigga get." Black ass didn't have no business on that boat, all the white people know it. He only doing white people shit. I bet he married to a white woman. Right. So, I did a show in Chinatown, right in Los Angeles, California. And while I was on stage performing, I witnessed one of the funniest things I ever seen before in my life. This Korean dude came in there with a dog on a leash. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I spent 3 years in Korea, and I know what they eat, right? Yeah, so since he was the only one there with a dog, I asked him, I said, "Excuse me, sir, but is that dog for sin or for dinner?" Y'all know that'd be like a black person walking here with a chicken on the leash. Now that the chicken about to get messed up, right? He be on death row walking the Green Mile, boy. He be yelling, "Dead chicken walking." So since I retired from the military, I noticed they changed their rules and regulations. Because now I'm starting to see a lot of overweight soldiers and soldiers wearing full beards and goatees. When I was in the military, you can wear beards and goatees, but now everybody's wearing them. Hell, I ran into a person on the other day that had a nice goatee. He had the handlebar mustache that cut on in and everything. I asked him, I said, how you get your goatee to look like that? She said, she died every week. Everybody's gonna be ready to work on Monday. So last time I had a pool party in my house, and after everybody got to swimming, everybody left except my brother-in-law. He retired Navy guy. They don't speak the same lingo as the Army guy. We speak with a lot of acronyms, right? But I like mess with him just to piss him off. You know, he's my brother. I was supposed to piss him off. After he got the shower, he yelled out, "Yo, brother-in-law, you got any lotion?" I said, "No, I got some DSG. Look in the medicine cabinet." He was there about 5 minutes looking around. He said, "I don't see it." I said, "Look on the top shelf in the back left-hand corner." He said, "All I see is Vaseline." I said, "That's it." He said, "Why you call it DSG?" I said, "Because it's dick spanking grease." When I was drill sergeant, I just like paying 6 on the new recruits on the project, like when they first come in. And the only reason I did it because I was trying to make my job fun because we worked a lot of hours, right? We worked from 4:30 in the morning to 10 o'clock at night, 6 days a week. So I had to make my job fun. I was when they walked. But I remember one time we was at the gun range and we had just got through qualifying the soldiers on their weapons, and we was waiting on transportation to come pick us up and take us back to the barracks. But they called and told us they were about 45 minutes late because one of the buildings broke down. So I said, "No, okay, no problem. I just waste time by messing with the private." So I told the pilot, I said, "Private, I got bad news. We missing 30 rounds of ammunition, and if we don't find it, I have to call them peace so they can lock down the base. They're not going to let anybody on, off the base. Then we have to do a cavity search on each one of them." I said, "You see this building behind me? We're going to take it out one at a time. You're going to strip butt, booty, naked. You're going to bend over, stretch your butt cheeks apart, and we're going to run the hand between your butt cheeks like a credit card." I said, "But before we go through all that, we'll give you 10 minutes to find the ammo. The time starts now." I was taking out their catalog, shaking them out, and checking the packs on the uniform like they're looking for a cigarette or some money. I said, "Private, 5 minutes has elapsed. You have 5 minutes remaining." Now the private starting to get antsy, right? You can hear him talking. You always had that one private think you can whoop somebody. You know that alpha male? And he always a black dude, right? You ever said, "Y'all got any ammo? Turn it in. Y'all always doing stupid shit." They do a cavity search, they don't kick y'all butt. I said, "Private, time's up." I said, "Look, I hate to see y'all getting into trouble. When we catch y'all with any ammo on you after today, we gonna lock you up in confinement for 4 years. Then we gonna kick y'all going to a dishonorable discharge. That's a felony. You won't be able to get a job anywhere. So I'm gonna give you one last opportunity to take 2 steps forward and turn the ammo on with no repercussion." So the alpha cop took 2 steps forward, right? I said, "Good, somebody with some integrity around here." I said, "Private Williams, you have any ammo to turn in?" He said, "No, drill sergeant." I said, "Why the hell you get out of my formation?" He said, "Because I want to go first, drill sergeant." I said, "Why do you want to go first, Private Williams?" He said, and I quote, he said, "Because y'all gonna stick y'all hands up all these booties. I don't want y'all sticking y'all hands up mine." I said, "Wrong answer. Get your ass back in formation. We're gonna alphabetical order. You understand me, Private Williams?" So when I retired from the military, I got a job as an instructor. And the company that hired me only hired retired military guys. They paid me very well. We traveled all over the country teaching the Army and Marines how to do their job. What I like about the job is on our lunch break, some of us go to break room, play dominoes and spades, and talk shit about one another, right? Or we may just talk about the different disabilities that we develop from war, things like Agent Orange, PTSD, cancer, and all the other stuff that's killing us. So now we're trying to get compensated for it, and our goal is to get 100% because that's what we deserve. Yeah, we got the one guy on our team, right? He been stuck on 90% for 10 years. He had one of his legs blown off in Iraq. And don't y'all think he deserves 100%? Yeah. So right. But he pretty much giving up on it. He said if he ever get it, though, he's going to quit that job and stay on the fish because he loves the fish. But he was one of the funniest guys on our team, though. I remember one time I went to the break room, where they were playing dominoes and spades, talking shit. Well, he seen me, he said, "What's up, King? Tell me something good." I said, "Man, you're not going to believe this article I just read." He said, "You got that right, because we all know you can't read." I said, "No, man, I was just sorry. This is going to benefit everybody right here." He said, "Well, tell it to us then, brother." I said, "The article said if you've been diagnosed with erectile dysfunction, you may qualify for additional 15% for LBDS." He jumped up on the table and said, "I got that shit. I know I got that. I'm going to put me on the top right there, goddamn." He said, "Fine, I'll get my 100%. I'll quit this job and stay on my fish all day." This Samoan dude said, "King, what is LBDS?" I said, "Little Bitty Dixon." So a really good friend of mine from Compton, California came to visit me last month, right? Real cool white dude. He's so cool, black people gave him a nickname. We nicknamed him Al, short for albino. You remember that comedian Gary Young because he loves sister girls. That's all he talked about. When he came to visit, we hung out at the mall. Al tried to talk to every sister he seen. They don't even want to go to Foot Locker to try to find a pair of Air Force One to match his Kobe Bryant jersey. So we went to Foot Locker, and his beautiful sister named Felicia was working there. She was dropping gorgeous, boy. Al jumped right on her. He had her smiling and giggling and everything. For a minute, I thought he was going to get lucky. And all of a sudden, Felicia dropped a bombshell on him. She said, "I can't date you." He said, "Why not?" She said, "Because I'm looking for a man with 9 inches of rock hard pleasure between his legs, and I'm not going to settle for anything else. I know exactly what I need." Al said, 9 inches, huh? She said, "Yep, 9 inches and nothing less." Al looked her up and down and said, "Felicia, you fine as hell, but I'm not cutting 2 inches off for nobody." Felicia said, "Wait, what?" And I said, "Bye, Felicia." And when I was 10 years old, I was bad as a kid. Boy. I was so bad, my parents had to homeschool me. And once a week, they would send me to this private school. But I didn't like it too much, though, because the teacher was mean as a drill sergeant, boy. I remember one time, when the first day of school, the teacher told me, said, "Hurley King, I want you to come in, sit your never behind down, shut up, and open your book." I was terrified. I said, "Who is this teacher, and what kind of school is this?" Well, come to find out years later, I was going to Sunday school. That was the deacon up there talking crazy. Growing up in the ghetto was rough. I'm from St. Louis, Illinois, so I grew up fast, right? Oh yeah, man. Yeah. I was all black school, right? Yeah, it's different going to integrated school, going all black school. You have to be ready to fight every day. And I went to school with some pretty big dudes, boy. Most of them had beers already. Yeah, this was in the 4th grade. The serious things around here that y'all take for granted. For instance, when y'all go to the bathroom, y'all have real signs when y'all do it, don't you? We didn't have that. Somebody wrote ours in with a permanent marker. They misspelled words, you know which door to go in. I remember one time when I was in the 5th grade, I ended up going in the mock closet. There was 2 dudes that shooting dice. One dude said, he said, "Close door, you little nappy-headed motherfucker, before you get on the bus. You get on the bus, I'm gonna kick your little ass." And that was the principal. I guess he'll lead by example, right? But see, y'all don't have no problem because y'all sign clearly say men, women, and others, or guys, gals, and others. Not ours. I said pimp holes and tricks. Hey, that's my time, y'all. My name is Hurley King. I'm the soldier of comedy.
Yeah, give it up for the soldiers of comedy, y'all.